Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Deep Rock Galactic. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. Alright, so today we're doing the deep dive, codenamed Buried Carcass. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. First stage of the deep dive has cave leech clusters, as well as your two objectives, extracting Morkite and killing one dreadnought. Now, when I say that you have cave leech cluster, there's going to be a lot of cave leeches, and you'll have to keep your eyes open for that. So you may have taken out one or two cave leech in a particular area. Don't think that is it. They can be relatively close to each other, so you have to almost keep your eyes on the ceiling. If you have a scout with you, then they should be lighting up the ceiling to ensure that you can see them before they can see you, which is always a problem. If they see you first, you may not be able to respond quickly enough. Now it's also a good time to point out that you can play the deep dive by yourself with your buddy Bosco, or with up to 3 other players, either friends or match-made. Now the Morkite, you're just gonna want to keep your eyes open on the ceiling and the walls for that dark grayish blue color, and go ahead and mine it, as well as gold and nitra. Gold will of course increase the amount of credits at the end of the deep dive, and nitra will help you keep flush with ammo so you won't run out, because every 80 nitra will give you 1 resupply pod with 4 pods on it. Each pod will give you half of all your ammo in all the slots, plus they'll give you some health as well. Now the Dreadnought is the boss-like character that has the phases where it's invulnerable, shielded, and damage phase. So make sure that you're ready for it, and you'll be able to see it on the terrain scanner as well if you're not sure where it's at. It'll show up as a big red egg, and just go towards it. And of course, unlike normal missions, you have to complete both objectives before you can get out of each stage of the deep dive. Now, the deep dive is a raid-like environment which has 3 stages, and you'll have to complete both objectives in each stage in order to progress to the next one. So once you take care of the Dreadnought and you mine the Morkite, call in the drop pod and get out. Now you can either make your way to the drop pod directly if you kind of know the navigation of the cave in order to get there, or you can follow the mule all the way back. It's up to you what you want to do. If you want to follow the mule, that's great, because as soon as you get back, then you'll be able to get into the drop pod. If you get there first, then you just have to defend the area until the mule docks with the drop pod, and then you can get on. The thing is that once the mule, if the mule's not there, the door is not open, so you can't get in until the mule is there. So you have to either defend yourself as you're making your way across, or defend the drop pod. It's really up to you. If you know your way back to the drop pod, or if you're a driller where you can go directly from one part of the map to the next, it's not a big deal. If you know where you're going, great, you can just defend. Otherwise, just follow the mule. Hopefully it doesn't take any weird turns where it's going vertical for any length of time, or it's not difficult to follow at least. that's it for stage 1. Now it's a good time to point out that everything carries over from one stage to the next. That includes your health, your ammo, your grenades, your traversal tools, and everything else, including what's in your pocket. So if you have gold and nitra that, you know, it was getting a little bit hairy getting back to the drop pod, it'll carry over to the next stage. So you don't have to drop it into the mule or the drop pod ahead of time if you don't have the opportunity. Now, if it is the 3rd stage, you will want to add it in because there's nothing after that. Alright, so stage 1 is complete. We're already 1/3 of the way done. Going on to stage 2. Now, stage 2 has shield disruption, so you don't have any shields for this one. And it is a salvage operation with 3 mini mules, plus you also have to collect 2 alien eggs. Now, the mini mules will beep, so there's an audio cue when you get close to it, and plus it has that green pulsing light around it, so you'll be able to see it from relatively far away. Scan the mini mule, and then the legs will show up on the train scanner, and they'll glow slightly. So scan it, you can look at the train scanner, or if you can see one, go ahead and go get them. Once you have the legs reattached, then you just have to repair the mini mule. If it's just one person, it will take a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Now, as far as the alien eggs go, they are on the train scanner. So if you just pull that up, that'll tell you about where it's at. If you're really far away, you might have to do some finagling to kind of figure out where they're at. But otherwise, make your way to the alien eggs. And you can do the alien eggs first, you can do the alien eggs second. Just know that you will have to get both the alien eggs and the mini mules repaired before you can progress to the next part of the mission. Now, with the alien eggs, each one that you dislodge from the ceiling or wall, you do have a chance of spawning a swarm. So with 2 alien eggs, you're probably going to have 1 swarm. Now, once you have that done, you send the mules and the mini mules back to the drop pod, the derelict drop pod, and then start the uplink. The uplink is a zone control, so you'll want to keep the bugs out, not because they'll stop progress, but because they're going to attack you. So the more people that are in the bubble, the faster it'll go. Once you have that complete, then you're ready for the next part of extraction. So for whatever reason, the drop pod has run out of fuel, or the batteries have run down, whatever you want to say. So then they have to send in fuel cells, and just look for, you know, the glowing green light, and it'll drop in just like a resupply pod, and then reconnect it to the appropriate spot on there. And then you're going to do the same thing as you did previously. You're going to repair it. You're going to go ahead and defend the area. Make sure you're taking care of the bugs as you're going along. If you have a driller, you can actually drill underneath it a bit. Not too far, because you'll be outside the bowl, but and not too shallow, otherwise the bugs will be able to come in through the ceiling. But basically you want to create kind of a cavern of your own choosing, where there's only one way in, so it's much easier to defend and you don't have to look all the way around. Now, once that is complete, you will also have to wait a minute and a half for the drop pod to power up. Once that countdown goes to 0, then you can get on the drop pod and get out. And that is it for stage 2. Look at us go. We're already 2/3 of the way done with the deep dive. And of course, the reason, or one of the main reasons to do the deep dive, is for those matrix cores. You get 1 for every stage that you complete, where you get color schemes, you get cosmetics, you can get overclocks for your weapons. So it's always a good idea to get those matrix cores, to get those upgrades. The third and final stage of the deep dive has you repairing 2 mini mules and collecting 4 alien eggs. Unlike the previous stage, you don't have a full salvage mission. This is an alien egg mission. So once you get everything done, then you will be able to call in the drop pod. And there are no modifiers for this stage. So look on the train scanner and you can find the alien eggs. Go ahead and grab them, pick them up, drop them in the mule. You know, progress in the stage, find those mini mules, look around, do whatever you need to do. Make sure you're taking care of the bugs and the swarms of bugs as they pop up. Look out for things like exploders or any other special bug units that you might have to take care of. And then move along and go on to the next part of the stage.
Well done.
Once you have everything done, then you're ready to get out. Make sure you have plenty of nitra and gold as you're going along so that you're able to get more credits at the end. And, of course, be flush with health and supplies as you're going through the deep dive. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Rock and stone! Rock and stone! Yeah! Hey, you! Shield charge, my home away from home! Our very own express elevator to Hetty. Resupply ordered!
Hang in there. Supplies are on the way.
Shield up! Lead burster! Ain't dead! 1 second, ready to be built. The resupply is here. No survivor! Let's leave this hell.
The mule has docked. Initiating launch sequence.
Rock and stone. Salute.
Stand back. Supply pod inbound. Good work. We're pulling you back in.